Bright and early, 7 o'clock in the morning, we are headed up to meet our designer for our build. So this is our lot. As you can see, it's quite the slope, which is good because we can have a walkout basement or lower level, and obviously it's right on the water. A little bit of a design challenge, I guess, because I mean, look how sloped our driveway is going to be. We're going to have a heated driveway.
Well, it's really the same as this one. Good morning. I mean, it's theoretically the same slope as this one, and they got around it. It's not ideal, but it works.
Yeah, it's steep.
Yeah, it is, but it works.
It works.
So just a quick pregnancy symptom update. I want to be really clear that anytime I talk about pregnancy symptoms, they generally are not positive things, and I'm not complaining. Yeah. I promise. It's just more that
She's not complaining.
I'm stating, no, I mean, I'm not complaining in general, but I'm not complaining when I'm talking about my symptoms. Everybody gets hyper about when someone's pregnant and they're just stating like what they're feeling about being ungrateful or whatever. We are so grateful. I'm grateful to have symptoms because it gives me peace of mind. Anyway, so it feels really, really similar to when I was pregnant with the twins, and that's really interesting to me.
Oh boy.
I know. So the very first symptoms that I noticed with the twins were headaches, and I think I'm gonna do a whole sit-down video on like what I felt when I thought I was pregnant before I actually knew, and like what symptoms led me to take a test. Because like when we were trying to conceive the very first time, that's something I Googled all the time, was like, what are the first pregnancy symptoms? So that I knew what to look out for in myself if I was thinking maybe I'm pregnant, like before it would show up on a test. It's debatable whether you even really have symptoms before it would show up on a test, but some people are sensitive to those kinds of things and are really in tune to their body. So anyway, I want to do a video on that, but just briefly, I feel like I have headaches a lot, and I feel really, really tired. That gets kind of worse throughout the day, and some morning sickness, and like evening sickness. It's like worse mid-morning, and then like right around dinner time is when I start feeling nauseous again. So that's kind of what I'm feeling now, and that's what I felt with the babies when I was pregnant the first time. So pretty interesting. So the thing about pregnancy nausea that's tough is that what makes it better, or what they recommend, is eating something small and like having a little bit in your stomach all the time. But the last thing you want to do when you're nauseous is like chew something up and swallow it. It's horrible. That part's the worst. I wish I could have a way to like just put food in my stomach without having to eat it, because I know it'll make me feel better, but I'm practically gagging, like trying to chew it up. And I'm going for the blandest things I can. Is blandest a word?
Sure, it is now.
Blandest. Okay, we are now vlogging on my cell phone because our camera died.
This is like 2 vlogs in a row that our cameras.
What is wrong? Maybe we need a new battery.
We need an additional battery.
Yeah. So we just got out of our meeting with the draftsman and the designer, and then Jason Aki, he's like our family friend. He's basically like my older brother. He's always been like an older brother figure for me, and he happens to be partner at this really awesome like home building and also commercial building business company. So he is like
called Ken Aki Construction. We'll leave a link below.
They're pretty awesome. They build custom homes, and really, really cool process. They just really have it figured out where like people who have never built a home before are gonna like have an idea of what we're doing. So we're really excited. They're also like really good about being extremely realistic up front about your budget, which is something that we really need. Instead of going through the building process and making decisions that jack up your final price, they get everything laid out at the beginning, make those decisions up front so that you know really closely what your final cost is going to be. So,
and they have a website and an app that will keep a running total, so we'll know exactly where we're at on our budget, which I think is really awesome.
As we go. Yeah, so I'm really excited. This is really fun. We went over some floor plans. We told them what we wanted, and we ended up between like 2 plans that we're pretty certain we're going to use. And so right now we're going to physically look at a house that they've built that is pretty similar to the plans that we're choosing. So it's fun. And the designer, Angie, her and I have like the same taste, it sounds like, in homes. So she's really excited for this project because we're gonna both have a lot of fun designing the home. So we're excited to bring you guys along with this if you've ever built a home before. And
this is like one of those moments where I'm really grateful that we vlog.
Yes.
Like to have this video documented of this journey that we're on.
Right.
It's gonna be really cool.
And although home building can be stressful, definitely at times, I feel like just working with these guys and having like a personal friend of mine as part of the project is gonna make it a lot less stressful for us. And it sounds like we're all big planners, so we're gonna just be on top of it from the get-go. So hopefully it won't be super stressful. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the whole process. And it's possible that the thing will be done before the baby comes home.
No, I don't think so.
It's possible in a perfect world. So, all right, we'll keep you posted.
It is Valentine's Day, Thursday afternoon. Rachel works a half day on Thursday. I have Thursdays off. How awesome is that? So the kids and I, yeah, we're gonna go get Mom a Valentine's. Rachel always makes fun of me because I say Valentine's. We're gonna get Mom a Valentine's gift and deliver it to her at her office. What do you guys think Mom will want? Do you think she wants a puppy or just a big heart? I'd say let's go with the dark chocolate heart. All right, now we gotta pick out a card. What do you think? Funny? Funny or serious? Bear says serious. Lyndall says serious. Time to go drop it off at her office and embarrass her. Were you embarrassed at all when I dropped off your little Valentine's present?
No.
Did you hear me say Valentine's?
I'm just used to it. Brad thinks it's Valentine's Day. Embarrassed? No. Not at all. Really excited.
Were you mad at me?
I like it when people ask and then answer their own questions. Was I embarrassed? No. Was I excited? Yes. When they said, someone's getting a Valentine present, was I hoping it was me? Yes.
That's not annoying at all.
Me answering my own questions?
No, you're supposed to, then you're supposed to answer it. Me answer my husband question, so you're supposed to answer it again.
Oh. So, wait, what? Anyway. So while we're daily vlogging, we're also filming clips relating to this miracle pregnancy. And I'm not even sure like when we're gonna like announce that we're pregnant. I don't even know when we're gonna tell my family. I just, like, this is such a shock. I have nothing, this is so weird for me because nothing is planned. And with IVF, it's ultra planned. Like everybody, we're very open about it. So everybody knew when we were having our transfer. Everybody knew to expect about like when they were gonna be getting their pregnancy announcement. So this is just like all new territory. And I'm processing this in real time. Like, so it's been about 24 hours probably, not even. It hasn't even been 24 hours since I found out that I'm pregnant. And the last 24 hours has been just insane. Like, I hardly slept last night. I've been through every emotion. To say that I am nothing but excited is a lie. And that's, I don't know, that's probably been the hardest part about this, is because like this was my dream, was to like be surprised by a pregnancy and be able to surprise my husband. And it's just been so overwhelming that it's like the all joy that I felt right in the beginning has gave way to like, wow, like I've figured out that the babies are gonna be maybe around 20 months old when the new baby comes along. Like, we're gonna have a baby before Halloween, and like Christmas this year, we're gonna have an infant and the twins, and it's just like, it's hitting me how difficult that's going to be with the age that Bear and Lendl are. And I'm not saying it's gonna be impossible, obviously, and it's not gonna be unenjoyable. And obviously, like, we're people of faith and we have a great support network, and I don't think God would give us something that we couldn't handle. I know he wouldn't. And maybe this is just his way of like telling me, you need to stop planning and stop depending on yourself and start depending on me. And so that's maybe, I mean, there's obviously a lot more going on than just God teaching me that lesson, but that's in the underlying message that I'm feeling right now. And it's a hard one. It's like, I've always struggled with that, like letting go of my own plans and letting God take over. And this is one way that he's making sure that I do that. So I was just driving to work this morning and I saw like the most beautiful sunrise, and it was after feeling like really overwhelmed for the last 24 hours, minus like the first hour. It was just like, so I had peace for the first time, like from excitement to, oh my gosh, to like finally feeling peaceful. And I'm sure I'm gonna cycle through all of these again. But I think, you know, when we were talking about doing IVF again, one of the big things that was making me pump the brakes a little bit was thinking about how much attention Bear and Lendl are going to be requiring here in the next couple of years, and how I feel like maybe introducing a baby is going to take away from that, or it's going to make me divide myself even further. But I've got to get to a place where I'm confident in my ability to make everybody feel loved and special, and that's what moms do, and that's what I should be able to do. And I'm just, like I said, processing in real time. This is, man, it's wild. This is wild. This is something I never thought I would be able to feel. It's just so unlikely. Brad's been awesome, by the way. He's been nothing but positive. If he feels nervous or scared or uncomfortable at all about this, he hasn't shown it at all. He's been extremely supportive. He's always really, really hands-on with the babies, but even more so like this last day. Probably because I don't know if I've said anything out loud. I've just been like in my own little head, just processing. We had booked a trip to wine country in like 3 weeks. We just changed it to New York City. Like we could still go to wine country, but that would kind of not be super fun, being at wineries and not being able to drink wine. I'm not sure why what am I talking about right now? Anyway, I gotta go to work.